Alright, starting out with the Undead Acolyte, we have a few quotes that mainly reference darkness and the Acolyte's overall submissive nature.
Thy bidding, master.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Once you head down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. And you get dental.
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
My life for hire. I mean, Ner'zhul.
My life for hire.
Fear the Reaper.
Baby, take my hand.
Among his many grunts and growls, the ghoul references a few sources we've seen already.
Wazza! He eats dead people.
I see dead people.
Must feed. Must feed.
And though this isn't an exact quote,
He eats brains.
it does reference the idea of zombies eating brains, which was first seen in Return of the Living Dead.
Brains.
Also, this line,
No guts. No glory.
is a play on the English idiom no guts, no glory. The Crypt Fiend's Ready quote
The sleeper awakes.
is a reference to Dune,
The sleeper has awakened!
and
You rang.
is the catchphrase of the character Lurch in the Addams Family.
You rang.
Other than that, the Crypt Fiend unsurprisingly makes a lot of spider jokes and references.
What a tangled web we weave. Spider sense. Tingling.
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
Last week my top half was on the Discovery Channel, and my bottom half was on Animal Planet. I'm stuck on bandages, 'cause bandages are stuck on me.
I am stuck on Band-Aid, 'cause Band-Aid's stuck on me.
This line's kind of a multi-layered pun.
My ass always gets bloated during my spin cycle.
A spin cycle doesn't have to do with spinning a web, it's the cycle a washing machine takes to spin water off of its load. And the word cycle likely is talking about women's menstrual cycles. I always thought it was creepy how the abomination talks in first person plural.
Us hear and obey.
Most of its jokes are about its amalgamated nature, along with some more dead jokes.
We come in peace.
We come in peace. We come in peace.
You got us in stitches. Chunk.
I love you, Chuck.
Oh, I love you, Spawn.
Us dead sexy.
I'm dead sexy.
Happy entrails.
Happy trails to you.
Also, its war cry
All for one.
is mostly associated with the book The Three Musketeers, and I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but
Rip.
could possibly be a play on both tearing apart meat and the English abbreviation on tombstones for rest in peace. I hope you're not sick of death puns and references, because they're just going to keep coming, especially with the necromancer.
I see undead people.
I see dead people.
I love the dead. Frequently.
Every man lives. Not every man truly dies.
Every man dies. Not every man really lives.
This one is a reference to a line from Kerrigan in StarCraft Brood War.
They'll all be mine in the end.
They will all be mine in the end.
The Banshee's main references are her undead torment,
Undead. Find out what it means to me.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me.
and the idea of possession, which is one of her abilities.
I hate you. I hate you. Call me.
There is no banshee, only soul.
There is no Dana, only soul.
The interesting thing about the Shade is that despite it not having an attack, it has voice lines for attacking.
Glory to the Scourge. Feel my wrath. Die.
Apparently the Shade unit in an earlier draft was more than just an unarmed scout, which is curious since a lot of its lines are like the Farseer, putting a lot of emphasis on seeing.
Let's see.
The rest of his quotes reference death and his incorporeal nature.
What I do in death echoes in eternity.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Death is its own reward. I'm having a mid-death crisis. I ain't got nobody.
I ain't got nobody.
I'm invisible, gaseous, and deadly.
The Death Knight gives references from a variety of sources.
Has hell frozen over yet?
I am the one horseman of the apocalypse. I hate people, but I love gatherings.
You hate people, but I love gatherings. Isn't it ironic?
I'm a Death Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Blucher!
Blucher!
I am Frau Blucher.
Don't touch me. I'm evil.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
Arthas is the only campaign Death Knight, and he only has one reference.
I'll be twice the king my father ever was.
I'm 10 times the king Mufasa was.
I already made a whole video about the entire Darkness Calls running gag.
Who is this darkness anyway?
So check it out at the link that just appeared on your screen or the link at the end of this video. It's pretty funny, and its reference scope extends all the way through Heroes of the Storm. Like most other Undead units, the Lich makes jokes about undeath, but being an icy skeleton, he focuses a bit more on bone, ice, and age-related references.
I'm so poor, I don't even have calcium deposits. I am the ghost of Warcraft past.
Who and what are you? Scrooge demanded. I am the ghost of Christmas past.
You should see the skeletons in my closet. Imhotep. You are the weakest Lich. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Kel'Thuzad has an interesting voice set. He has the echoey Lich voice found in the game,
In the Lich King's name.
as well as a normal sounding one for his human unit,
In the Lich King's name.
which is never playable in the campaign. I wonder if he was originally playable as a necromancer, because his line,
This horned thing on my head is killing me.
is referring to his horned headdress that he's wearing before he becomes a Lich. Anyhow, Kel'Thuzad mostly talks about the Cult of the Damned.
The Cult of the Damned. I need to print more brochures. 50,000 gold a year in childcare, and they call it a cult?
Some of his lines are somewhat reminiscent of L. Ron Hubbard, who started the Church of Scientology.
I always wanted to start my own religion. So I did.
This quote probably isn't a direct reference,
I will await my eternal reward.
but the phrase eternal reward is always reminiscent of this scene in Aladdin.
Your eternal reward.
The Dreadlord speaks in a Slavic accent common to vampires in media.
Dressed to kill. Blah.
I think this was first popularized in the 1931 film Dracula.
Now that you have learned what you have learned, it would be well for you to return to your own country.
One notable line is,
This is not a dress. It's the standard Dreadlord uniform.
his current model isn't wearing anything resembling a dress, so this may be confusing, but it's actually referring to this early model for the Dreadlord. This model was changed because it looked too close to the Lich's model and needed to be more distinct. Okay, whose idea was it to make Varmothras and Tichondrius have exactly the same model and color? I love this alternate Dreadlord model, but did they really have to share it and both be red? So confusing. Anyway, Varmothras has lines from Blade Runner and A-Team.
Wake up, time to die.
Wake up, time to die.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
And some lines about being a treacherous demon and vampire.
Don't worry about the fine print. The soul consumption clause is never exercised. Sorry, I don't do interviews. I'll take a huge, juicy, bloody bite out of... What were we talking about? And that concludes our demonstration. Any questions?
As for Tichondrius, you never actually get to control him in any of the Reign of Chaos campaigns, but you must have originally been able to. He has an entire voice set.
What is it now? I have better things to do.
Besides another darkness joke, he mostly just makes more vampire jokes.
The Legion needs a better dental plan. These fangs are killing me.
But his war cry is
Ashnath Gimbatul,
which is the black speech translation of One Ring to Find Them in The Lord of the Rings. Man, I love the voice actor Darren DePaul, but he did not do a great job of capturing the sinister and mighty voice of Anubarak and the Crypt Lords from Warcraft 3.
From the depths I come. From the depths I come.
Being a fallen king of Ajol Narub, the Crypt Lord has a line referencing the film History of the World Part 1.
It was good to be the king.
It's good to be the king.
But being an insectoid being, he primarily references bugs.
Humans check in, they don't check out.
Roaches check in, but they don't check out.
I'm the fifth beetle. Raid. And they say Blizzard games don't have bugs.
In my opinion, Sylvanas honestly has the laziest array of voice lines in the game. She just complains.
What are we if not slaves to this torment? What joy is there in this curse?
And recites lines she speaks in the actual Legacy of the Damned campaign.
I have my own reasons for seeking vengeance. Arthas murdered my people and turned me into this monstrosity.
I'm never a big fan of NPCs who take themselves too seriously. In case you didn't know, Manaroth has a full set of voice line files. Given that he just speaks in generic, unintelligible demonic, it's unclear if he was going to be playable in Reign of Chaos or not. Archimonde technically has a voice set too, but it's just a limited array of the Revenant's hissing sounds. Another quotes video down. I hope you're enjoying these. I'll be back next time with the Night Elf ones.